I think obviously the first question on everybody's minds coming into the city on New Year's Day was what was done. Where was there a barrier at the front of Bourbon Street? What was it? I mean, I asked that question. The governor asked that question. I think everybody asked that question, and we've seen in the days since that we've deployed additional resources there. So we know that we could have done it differently. I think that they are going to be done differently in this city. I would expect that to happen. Because we can't ignore what happened and pretend like it didn't happen or that it was just a one-off event. This city is a known target for terrorist attacks. I love this city. I think, we all do, and it has a great sort of love of life, and it expresses that through music and through festivals and through kind of communal sharing events. And so there is kind of a general a resistance to some of the boundaries that we actually need to establish greater sense of security for people to continue to enjoy that kind of lifestyle. So I just think we have to learn how to balance that correctly, so that we can make sure that everybody's safe and we cannot affect the things that still be able to enjoy and not lose the essence of what we love about the city of New Orleans.
So do you have a lot of questions that need to be answered as to what security measures were taken, when were taken, what were not taken, and what can be done better?
Look, I would say the press is doing a pretty good job at uncovering a lot of that information on a day-by-day basis. I'm certainly collecting that information. I'm looking at a lot of things. My review is going to go into all kinds of details, including prior audits of the city, any kinds of reports that were done in the past, evaluating what our vulnerabilities are, what did we do, what didn't we do, why did we not do certain things. Those are all questions that I think we need some time and careful evaluation of. I will say that I'm encouraged by the support and cooperation that the city officials have expressed for this process. I think that is very important. We cannot be scared to take a really hard look at how we got here. And that's not a process that's necessarily designed to blame anybody. It's a process so that we can really critically evaluate how we got here and to make sure that we never end up here again.
I know there'll be several other.
Do you think we can see some of city officials possibly be held accountable? As we know, the New Orleans police superintendent didn't even know she had the barrier there. So
I think it's premature to say that. I mean, I would expect there to be accountability at a lot of levels. What that's going to look like, I'm not willing to say that yet. I think we need to gather all the facts. I do expect to have some kind of preliminary report for the legislature before they go into session, and then I expect to have another report that will be probably months after that. Some of this is going to take time. Looking at patterns and conduct and just sort of the way we've done business in this city and handled things typically, we just have to look at all of those things and evaluate what about that needs to change. And I think that the accountability piece and who bears the responsibility for that, I think there's plenty of time for that conversation.
How will the Attorney General's office work with the other agencies that are investigating this incident?
Yeah,
in terms of the city council,
right.
The mayor's bringing in someone from the federal government to look at how you all going to work together. Are there going to be separate independent investigations?
Look, I don't think it would be productive for those to be all separate independent investigations entirely. I would like to kind of bring them all together. I certainly expect to determine what each party is looking at. I'd like to collectively pull all that information together. I may be looking at some things that they don't intend to look at. I know that one of them was talking about kind of focusing specifically on the French Quarter and the French Quarter Security District. Mine is going to be more holistic. We've had that event, and that is a horrific event, but we've had state troopers here for a year. We have brought crime down in this city, but we still have crime to address in this city. So, I'm not just going to look at the situation with that event. I want to look at and I know the governor wants to do this too, at what kind of structural changes do we need that will be permanent. We will have a lot of resources in this city throughout Mardi Gras. We need to be thinking about what needs to stay as a permanent fixture for security for this city. And what are, whether attitudes need to change, whether cooperation needs to change, whether the political structure needs to change, whether individuals need to change. All of that's on the table. I think that that'll all be part of everybody's collective review. But at the end of the day, I'm going to collect all that information. So I'm going to work with them to do that.